What's up, everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here. Today's video is a rainy, disgusting day, but I have been at 3 craft shows in the past 3 days. Catherine is currently at a craft show, and holy shit, I am ready to be done with craft shows. But I'm here today to talk about how grateful I am to have built this beautiful shed. So right now I'm taking a break because I have been carving these little GNOME guys. I sold 15 of them on Friday, and I think I sold like 11 of them on Thursday, and then I sold 5 of them on Saturday because that's all I had left. I only ended up with 1 GNOME left, so now my goal is to make as many of these gnomes as possible. And I figured, why not do a video showing you how I make a gnome? Because honestly, I don't have the time to go do anything else. That's why you're getting this wood content. I know you guys don't love the woods content, but today I'm gonna be chainsaw carving a gnome out of some pine. Let's go! Woo! All right, so anyway, down here in my chainsaw carving shed, which again, I am so glad that I have this. This makes it way easier. Because like one of the big problems that I used to have was I would carve on soft ground and then trying to get rid of all the stuff like the sawdust and the scraps. Like that's something like maybe you don't think about a lot, where like this is like just like a day and a half worth of scraps, which I wish I knew exactly what to do with it. But also, you know, the ground is like 2 feet underneath that huge pile of sawdust. That's why we call our chainsaw carving company Sawdust and Sapwood. I make sawdust, Cat paints the sapwood. But anyway, so here's how to carve a super cute gnome with a chainsaw. So I am only going to be using today my Stihl MS-170 with the 12-inch Canon dime tip carving bar. That's all I need. Now, I guess that's not totally true, because I have these top cuts that I got from my sawmill over there. So, I basically have a bunch of little scraps like that cut up. But if you are doing this without a sawmill, you can also just, take a small log and cut, like a 3 or 4 inch chunk out of the top. So like if you just have a log, you can just stand the log up and just run your chainsaw right down that way. Let's carve it up, because I think that's actually what I did with the cedar log. You can see there's some chainsaw marks in there. Pretty easy to do. That I would do with my regular saw, or my big saw if I had it down here, like one of those. But anyway, so once you get it like this, I cut the bottom so that it stands up straight, and then I'm gonna carve it. So let me go through the anatomy of a gnome, and not that kind of anatomy, just the shape, the size, the length, no. Just what it looks like. All right, so this is how I do, or this is what my gnomes look like before they get painted. So basically, I'm sure you can see from this how I get it from here. So all of my gnomes have a little flop in their hat, and they either go to the right or to the left. And since I don't want to end up with one of, just a million of one side, I basically just alternate every time I cut. So I cut a line down this way, and then I cut a line basically taking a much less steep angle over here, and then I do a bore cut where I stick my chainsaw into the wood here and then cut down, and then I just sort of cut from there. Once I have the hat shape done, then I carve out the nose, and I decide where the hat ends. Then I cut out the outlines for the beard on either side there. Then I lay it down flat on my pile of wood over there. Do a little cleaning up around the nose. I, do an undercut over here to get that nice little thing. Then I carve the bark off of the wood on the beard. Then I carved in the beard, and then he's done. So it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't take me that long, and we sell these guys for 40 bucks. And I will sell these guys for 40 bucks all day, every day. And let's get carving. All right, so I got the basic shape of his hat outline. I mean, that's the main shape of him anyway. Next thing I'm gonna do is start to cut out his nose, and I just kind of try to get it somewhere in the center and go from there. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I mean, these things aren't perfect. Rustic. Because I figure if I say rustic enough times about my chainsaw carvings, you know, people will look at like the jagged edges and the non-sanded finishes, and they'll be like, oh, rustic. So, rustic. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now you can see, so I've cut out his beard, like the undercut there, and I might clean this up a little bit up here too. So now I'm gonna take him and I'm just gonna lay him flat down, because I'm gonna cut the beard out, and obviously this thing is a great helpful tool, but since it's got metal right here, and I have never ever hit it with the saw before, just kidding. As you can see, I've hit this with the saw a bunch of times. Metal ruins chainsaw chains, so I prefer not to do that. So I'm just gonna put them over here, and I gotta do some cleaning up over here, get rid of the sapwood. And he had a little break right here, so I'll just do a little bit more cleaning up. So basically then I'll just take the saw from here and maybe somewhere over here, just come down, same thing on this side, and then I'll cut it and round it a little bit and just give it more of that beard shape. All right, guys, and there you have it. No, these are not toenail clippings. Sawdust, baby. Woo! So, now this guy's all done, and he is ready to be painted. So, now he's Catherine's problem. Woo! I guess that was karma that I got sawdust in my mouth and just made that joke. Anyway, so that makes 11 gnomes so far, which is pretty good for today. But I am going to keep going. I have a bunch more blanks that I can make, and I also got several orders for mushrooms, both on the website and on Etsy, which is great. You know, so I was worried because I have, sorry if I'm yelling, so I have mushrooms and I think I saw a ghost on the website. So I have mushrooms for sale on the website and Etsy, and I've been worried that, you know, the price for mushrooms on the website is $60 for a small one and $75 for a big one. You know, it's that way so that we can ship them, because it's so hard to ship because they're so heavy. And I was worried that people wouldn't like that, or I was also worried that, like, you know, a lot of times the shipping goes over the $20 allotment for shipping. Basically, our mushrooms usually cost $40 for a small size. And I add in $20 for shipping because, again, it costs a lot because they're heavy, they're wood. And so, you know, sometimes the shipping, depending on where they're at, goes over $20, sometimes by just $1, sometimes by 10. You know, and it really depends on where they're going and how heavy the wood is. But Kat made a good point where it's like, you know, sometimes we go to craft shows, we pay $100 to be there, and we only make, you know, $200 whatever dollars, so, you know, that cost is sort of factored in. So, anyway, sorry if this is a super short video, but I'm going to get back to cranking out gnomes, and again, starting on a couple mushrooms, and wish us luck getting through December. I can't believe it's already December. Is it 10th? No, it's December 11th? 10th. 11th? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Maybe I'll even have a video for Woodyard Wednesday this week. We'll have to see. No promises, but I'll try. See you later.